watched a film, and it was a film version of Macbeth.
Oh, okay, yes.
And I was like 17, and I went to the cinema going, oh, Shakespeare, and then I watched this film, and I couldn't I was just glued to it.
Locked.
And it was Roman Polanski who directed it.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I want to work with Roman.
I mean, fair.
Mind you, I'm not 13.
Good night, everybody.
But that was a masterful job.
Of course,
and
of
there's
course.
no denying. He's a great director, like Chinatown and stuff like that.
He's absolutely great.
So, guys of that ilk, I didn't work with. Guys like Sidney Lumet.
Oh,
watching that gosh,
yes.
Some of the films he made were amazing.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. True film, like, you had to be a fan of film to understand what they're doing.
Yes. This is so great. Yes. And I just remember catching an old black and white movie on TV one time. And I started watching it, and I thought I got sucked into it. And it was long.
I love it.
And it was Sean Connery who was in it, but he wasn't being James Bond.
Okay.
He was doing something. He was this military guy in his prison. And it was this film called The Hill. You ever see that film?
Okay, so, wait, now I have to ask, was it called The Hill in another country? Because we have a film with Sean where he's in prison called The Rock, but not The Hill.
No, this was The Hill.
All right.
He was way younger. This was
that's awesome.
This was like in the late 60s.
I have not seen it. Okay, wait, has anyone else seen this movie, The Hill? You've seen it? Okay, so I'm coming over to your house. We're gonna watch this later on the night.
I mean, that's like Sidney Lumet, right? And then he did stuff like Serpico and Dog Day.
Yes.
And like great movies from the 70s, He was amazing, very prolific. I loved it, but I never got to work with him, So,
Well, and somewhere in the multiverse, there is a version of you that's gotten to do that. So we're just gonna hold it.
Sure.
Yes. In the brilliant action thriller Conspiracy Theory, you cannot help but feel for Jerry in all of his compulsive antics, especially his need to buy copies of Catcher in the Rye. Have you ever read Catcher in the Rye?
I did. Yeah, I read it in high school. Didn't everyone?
I mean, we were all
It's a great
supposed
book,
to.
right?
We were supposed to. Yes.
You didn't read it?
I didn't. So what had happened was
I thought it was great.
I got out of that assignment. It's so bad. It's so bad. But how relevant do you think its message is today?
The book?
Yes. The book.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful message. It's about this kid that's having a nervous breakdown.
Yes.
And he's really lovable. It's the way he expresses himself.
Of course.
His observations on life. And I think he's like 15 or something. I can't remember how old he was. 16.
About 15%.
Holding coffee. That was
Yes.
his name, right? And he's going through this terrible time. And it's just kind of heartrending. And at the same time, it's kind of funny because these descriptions of stuff of like watching this kid that can't stand picking his pimples and eating a sandwich and making him sick.
We all know that kid, don't we?
Or some of his teachers with like the old guy with the white hairs and a bumpy chest and all this kind of, it's like, it's very good. I mean, Salinger, was that the name of
Yeah,
it?
Jamie, yeah.
Brilliant, right? And he took it on this little journey that was pretty funny and at the end perfect.
Absolutely.
And I really loved it.
Love it. I've actually always kind of been scared to buy a copy of that book because of Conspiracy Theory. So it's your fault. Thank you. I will read it now.
You gotta read it.
As a storyteller, though, how do movies with war as a backdrop, like Gallipoli or The Patriot, when we were soldiers, why do they make great vehicles to tell stories about the people in the battles and not just about the battles themselves?
Yeah, I mean, if you take ordinary men like you, me,
Yep.
everybody, and you put them in extraordinary situations, and then you witness how they react, and people will react in different ways. There are certain people who react in exemplary fashion that you want to emulate, and they inspire you. And these are the stories that lift us. And I think, so that's a perfect backdrop for people with serious conflict.
Absolutely.
I mean, someone's trying to kill you.
Right.
And of course I love war films, like Braveheart was a war film.
Come on, he said it. I feel like Braveheart is like our special word of the day. Like yes. But Apocalypto is another great one.
Yeah.
You don't have to just yell out his filmography. Come on. You're not wrong, but I'm just saying.
I don't remember any of those.
What? No, I mean, but like seriously, a movie like Braveheart, you put William Wallace into the consciousness of a lot of people where we wouldn't have known who he was or what he stood for. And it was super important.
And he was kind of a footnote in history.
Right.
But he was real, and he was a revolutionary.
Absolutely.
And you know, he was striving to do, he almost pulled it off too. Oh my God.
So very close.
He almost did it, but you know, hey, things happen.
History is the way that things goes.
It's like Tecumseh, you know, that.
Exactly.
That
He was like right
shiny-
there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just missed it.
Just missed it.
Just missed it. Brett Maverick has a number of uncanny skills.
Yes.
He's a quick shot,
Yes.
charismatic, and clever as all get out. But his most amazing talent is his belief that he can conjure a playing card just by thinking about it. Have you actually ever tried to do that in a game?
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
It didn't? No.
I remember I heard this voice one time that says, "Take all your savings out of the bank and go to Vegas." And I said, "Who's this? You do as I say." I'm like, okay, all right. So I took all my money, I quit my job, I went to Vegas, I put it all on my table, he said, "Put it all on 29 black." And I said, "No, this is a lot of money." He said, "Do as I say." And I said, okay. Do you think I would lead you here without a good reason? Put all your money on 29 black. And I did it. And then the wheels spun, right? The ball, ding, 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 tong, ting, tong, tong, tong. And it was 3 red. And the voice went, fuck.
And that's the plot of the upcoming movie, The Passion of the Chips. Did that really happen? Did you really bet it all like that? Oh man! See how good of an actor he is? I believed him. I was locked in. Oh man. Okay.
I gambled once young, and I lost a lot of money
Yes.
in the Philippines, and I walked out onto the street, and there were people in the alley with no legs and like begging for money and
Right.
stuff, and I didn't have anything to give them, and I felt like a real chump. And I said, I'm never going to gamble like that again. I would have done better to walk down the street and
Just
just
get
get
away.
But I didn't do that. I lost it in gambling, so I never gamble big anymore.
That's a brilliant.
I might do like $500.
Yeah. No, makes noise for that, y'all. No, that's pretty good.
Oh, a hamster.
Come on, Hamlet is that's life. Hamlet is life. You made your directorial debut on The Man Without a Face. Yes. A beautiful examination on the opportunities we allow our relationships to build. Was it difficult to build such a poignant narrative while balancing the duties of directing and acting?
Yeah, that was the toe in the water for me. I didn't know a lot. I realized how much I didn't know, and it was wow, what a wake-up call. I fortunately had like this old drill sergeant kind of director of photography who kind of had been through the motions a bunch of times, and he could see I was like, and he would sort of make suggestions like, oh, that's interesting, and then so he kind of was teaching me about some stuff and that I hadn't considered, because once you're in the breach like that, okay, I had some of them, but not all of it.
Right.
And he was able to help me with the language of film and lenses and transitions.
That's nice.
Which
That's
are
nice.
really good. Transitions are very important.
It's very important.
And after that, I kind of like, okay, I dig the transitions.
Yeah.
I was like,
But, I mean, to be fair, as a good director, you deferred to someone who knew something that you didn't. So I think that also is kind of the benchmark of why you have become also a great director as well as actor. So you already were building, that skill set of, I can listen to direction, which means you can give direction.
no, absolutely. You have to absorb stuff and listen. And I was always asking these Peter Weir's, the George Millers, the Richard, always asking questions. I wasn't the kind, well, they didn't have trailers for actors that you could go back to and hang out in. It was a different kind of business there. So you used to hang around the set and go, well, what's that? And someone would tell you, so you learn all the lenses and the tools, absolutely, that it took. Everything stops, light, everything. So it's pretty interesting.
I love that hands-on learning. I think that's one of the things that is, anyone that's a creative, it's easy to kind of go, well, I guess I got to go to school in order to learn. But sometimes doing it is the more powerful teacher than anything. So,
Oh yeah, especially if you fail.
absolutely, absolutely. Do we have any aspiring filmmakers or actors in the room? Okay.
Get out there, get your hands on it.
As much as I love when you play the hero, and I do, you're wonderfully diabolical as a bad guy. We'll put that in quotations. What's been your favorite character? What was that? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. What's been your favorite character to play whose moral compass might be a little loose?
Okay. Moral compass loose. They're all kind of loose.
I mean, just a little, but I mean, like, so payback. I mean, there was a very strong standing. Like, you were owed $70,000. Like, that's just what it is.
Well, he was a career criminal who's kind of mildly sociopathic.
A little.
Yeah.
And he was a good dude. Like,
yeah. I mean, he's stealing money off beggars in the street in the first reel and stuff.
well, I mean, he was just trying to get back on his feet. Like, listen, he was going to see that guy again. He was going to give him his money back. I believe in that. That's my story. He's sticking to it. But like, do you have a favorite like bad guy character that you played?
I think it was that guy because he was so. You kind of the challenge with him was to make him kind of the hero of the film, but have it be kind of morally reprehensible in some ways. I mean, just unyielding.
Yes.
So it was kind of, and there was. I wrote the script with a guy called Brian Hogel, so it was like.
No surprise, sure.
Yeah, it was a combo of like finding that kind of fine line of humor and at the same time kind of off. Like something, he just shot that guy in the face.
I mean, he did, but that dude deserved it. Okay, and let's be honest, we didn't like him anyway.
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
He was a worse bad guy.
Sure.
He was awful.
Sure. The best of the bad guys, yeah.
Getting to work with some stellar actors now, like Lucy Liu or Maria Bella, like, what was it like on set? Was the vibe just that much fun? Did you guys kind of like commingle in order to kind of like create that vibe, or did you kind of separate?
No, it was a real team. Everybody was like playing Scrabble and poker and stuff like that, you know. So it was there was a lot of competition behind the scenes, and we got to know each other that way. We were pretty friendly. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I saw Maria like a month ago in an airport.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, and she hasn't changed.
Of course not.
No, she wouldn't get the old.
Yes.
It's like weird. I'm like, look at me, I'm a white beard, and she's like, still looks exactly the same. I was kind of blown away by that.
You're saying she's forever young?
Something like that, yes.
You're welcome. Fathers Under Pressure. From Ransom to The Patriot to Signs and so many more, you've played some dads who are facing incredible crisis, but still put the love of their children above everything. Can you share a fun story of you being a dad?
Me being a dad? Oh boy. Well, I remember when the doctors got me and they said, we want you to take these statins. You know, anyone on statins?
You gotta go hands,
Yeah, everyone's on statins. You hit 50 and they want to shove you on statins. So I sort of said, what's statins? And he said, well, it's just with the plaque and the arteries. And I'm like, So I look it up and it's like side effects, right? The downside of statins, impotence, Alzheimer's, your joints falling apart, all this sort of stuff. I said to the doctor, I'm not doing that. And he said, well, you have to do it. I said, no, I don't. Why would I do that? Why would anybody do this? I'd rather die. And he said, well, you've got kids. You've got grandkids. And I said, fuck them.
You know how they got here? I still like that part.
My arteries we're talking about. No, I didn't really say that.
He had us.
That's a good case.
Oh my God, I love it. Now, I did read that Sean Connery once recommended that you would be a great James Bond, but that you shied away from the consideration of it. Do you still think that that was the right move, or in some alternate universe, do you wish that you had tried it?
Of course, you go back and you think, man, I wish I'd done that.
Right?
It's like, Ridley came to me with Gladiator. I didn't do that either.
What?
Oh, yeah. All these, when I was doing the Patriots, I couldn't do the Gladiator. So Russell got it. Hey, all right, that's good. You did a great job. So it's kind of interesting the things you miss. And you go, oh, man, I thought that was good. But and there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, but yeah, I got the call from Cubby Broccoli. I was 26 years old. He said, we want you to be James Bond. I said, I said, you should. I could probably do it. But then I thought to myself, I'm 26 years old, and I just remember that Sean could never escape.
Right.
That character.
He was always James Bond.
He finally did.
Yes.
You
Took
know,
way too long.
about 10 years after that,
Exactly.
finally he did that Untouchables movie.
Right.
It was fantastic. So he escaped that prison that he was in for many years, for decades. So I thought, I'm not going to do that, and I let it go.
That's good.
So it was like, because I thought, I'll do some other stuff.
Right. And I mean, you already have iconic characters under your belt of your very own. You got Mad Max, so that's fair. That's fair. I think that's a good trend. Okay, so one of the things that I gotta get in here is literally you've got an unmistakable voice, and you've used it a few times to bring some incredible animated characters to life. What's been your favorite voiceover role, and why is it absolutely chicken run?
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. And it's like it was great, you know. I just enjoyed that. I enjoyed that character. Yeah, that kind of kind of chicken voice, you know. And I like the script. And I think those guys, those Aardman guys, are so clever with that whatever it is they're doing.
Claymation style motion.
Is it
style.
claymation? I don't know what it is, but it's amazing stuff.
I love it.
Really intricate. When I saw the first Wallace and Gromit things, I was like, whoa.
Yes, it captures the imagination. It is it's absolutely great.
Fantastic.
Yes. We've got some fan questions that have been submitted, so I'm going to read some of these. So Dominic R. from Tampa asks, you've played so many tough and intense characters. What's the most physically demanding role you've ever taken on?
Ooh, physically, I think it was on Braveheart. It was like, because I was in front of the camera and behind the camera, and you have to get up before everybody, and it was just, the makeup and the thing, and just all the logistics. And then the physicality of the part itself, you know, like with the horses,
yes,
all kinds of stuff. I had one day, we had this push button horse, you know, and it was the horse, and you said, well, if you pull back on the reins and then you dig your heels in, you'll rear up and this kind of stuff. And I thought, okay, so that's intense. Yeah, so I was doing this thing with the horse, and then the guy comes and stabs me with a spear in the chest, and I do the whole thing with the horse, and raise up, right? And I actually, the horse kept going.
What?
Yeah, and it's in the film because I fall off.
Yes.
Because I fall off the damn horse, right? But they didn't cut to the next part because the next part was the horse, the 2,000-pound horse, was coming right down on
No!
top. Really, I could see this, and I'm like, I'm dead. And my stunt double, this guy called Mickey Rogers.
Yes.
I don't know where he came from, but his arms come into the shot, all of a sudden he's like, yank. He yanked me out from under this horse, which hit the ground with such force I would have been dead.
Oh my!
So stuff like that happens, and it's like
That's wonderful,
Yeah.
great, scary, and amazing. Make some noise for Mickey, y'all. Like for real.
You know, this guy's amazing. He pulled off another stunt that only one other guy did and got away with. And the stuntman that did it was an old timer called Giacomo Canut, who was in a film called Stagecoach with John Wayne. And Giacomo Canut did the thing where he jumped from the stage on 3 different sets of horses. And he pulled the horses up and he survived. Everybody else that tried that stunt,
Totally does. Yeah. Don't do that.
they got trampled, they got killed. Even Terry Leonard sort of went under the axles, and it was a mess, you know. So it was like Mickey did it, and Mickey did it pretty well, and he did it, and everyone's like, "Whoa, he's the only guy since Giacomo can ever do that." That's wild. And he did it, and then the director said, "We didn't quite. You have to do it again." I'm like, "No, don't do it again.
No.
Don't do it again." And so Mickey gets it. He says, "Yeah, I'll do it again," because he's Mickey, you know. Oh yeah. So he gets on there and he does it again, and this time the horses start to go down.
That's not okay.
And it's not okay. And their noses are in the dirt. And he's like, I could see it. And he grabs the collars and he yanks, and he almost yanked. He did what he did to me.
Right?
He yanked the horses. It was just enough for these horses to get their feet under them again.
Right.
And that's the take that's in the film.
Oh my God.
It matters.
Make some
You watch
noise
it.
again for Mickey. The horse flipping. Like, that's incredible. That's incredible.
So, like, I was proud of it when he did that.
Yes.
That was a near crash, and it was real exciting because it looked like he was going down.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay. So being on film set's dangerous. Gotcha. Isabella from Orlando wants to know if you could drop one of your past characters into a completely different genre, like turning Braveheart into a sci-fi epic, who would it be and why?
Okay.
Let's go.
What do I have to figure out? The sci-fi.
Okay, so we'll pick a character that you've played, and then we'll pick a different genre than what they are known for.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah. You take that guy from what women want, and
Let's
you
go.
put him in Braveheart. Put him in Braveheart.
Wait, Lead Marshall in Braveheart?
Yeah.
I don't feel like this would make it.
He wouldn't do too well.
He's over there putting lipstick on in front of the king. He's like,
Right. Yeah. He'd like the dress part. He'd like the.
He's out there with a hairdryer, and he's like, freedom!
Yeah.
I would watch that movie. I'm so guilty of it. It's such a. Trevor S. from Miami asked, you directed some epic battle scenes. If you had to choose, would you rather direct a medieval war film, a futuristic space battle, or a pirate adventure?
Yeah. I just written with this guy. Me and this guy wrote a thing about the pirates. Well, it's kind of like a pirate thing. But I think the sort of medieval warfare is more up my street.
You've got a signature on that one, but I mean, I get if you want to spread out a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm going in for sea battles now.
Ooh.
And it's for television, but we'll see how it goes.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's a thing called Siege, and it's about the Knights of St. John on Malta.
Right.
And there were 700 of them, and the Turks, 40,000 Turks came in their ships and tried to do them, and the Knights won the day.
That's right.
But they had the Maltese as well.
See, that's good stories. Again, when you're dipping into history, and there's such rich storytelling within that, there's so much that you can play with. I hope that this comes out.
Oh no, crazy story. I mean, they were under siege for a long time. Right. It was the most brutal thing ever.
Oh my gosh.
It was like what they would do to one another from both sides. I mean, it got pretty ugly. For about 8 months, it was like,
That's the darkness of war. Every time. Elena K. from St. Petersburg says, you've worked with so many legendary actors. Who's someone you still dream of collaborating with?
I think I got on pretty well with everybody.
I think you absolutely have. I mean, but is there anyone that's maybe an up-and-comer that you're like, you know what, I see something, and I would like to do something with
Oh
them?
man, there's so many young, talented people now. And, some of these guys are really good too.
Of course.
They do. I mean, they're so gifted. Even I think it's another level of like the kind of stuff that we were doing.
Of course.
It's just another level.
Well, they got to learn from watching you do it, though. So you're part of what makes them great. I guess they saw you.
Yeah, but they took it a step further. I mean, there's legions of these guys now. Some of them really good. And I know, he can be kind of a tricky customer. Sure. I love this kid, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, yes.
He's amazing. But there's something so truthful about what he does.
I love it.
And he gets into it.
It's a good one. No, I would love to see you pair with Shia. I'd watch that movie religiously. Javier T. from Fort Lauderdale asks, what's the strangest or funniest thing that has ever happened to you on a film set? Not a fake horse almost killing you.
Oh man, there's a million things. I have to think about that.
I get that.
Because it's like there have been some really weird things happening.
Were you ever a prankster on set? Were you ever?
Course, yeah.
Okay, all right. Was there ever a particular prank that you pulled that was especially juicy and good?
Lethal Weapon.
Pardon?
Lethal Weapon.
A Lethal Weapon, there was one?
They were fun. But that Donner was the worst prankster.
What?
The director was the worst prankster.
You're not Dave Donner.
He was.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
He would set you up. He would set you up. And, pranks. I can't even mention some of them.
I get that. No, well, statute of limitations aren't up yet. I get that.
I convinced, I know I can't even talk about this one. It was so good though. It was my best prank ever, but I get into serious trouble.
Okay, that's fair. We won't get into it. I am going to go back and I'm going to ask this though. Could Martin Riggs, since we're talking about Lethal Weapon, could Martin Riggs ever be as fun of a character to play without the balancing act of Roger Murtaugh?
No, not nearly as funny, because Roger was kind of, I mean, you had to have that to sort of balance off. And Danny had this wonderful kind of, almost like Donner used to say, look at him, he's like Jack Benny. Because he used to stand there and just kind of do this kind of like, he was always did this thing where he was playing it like he was a beat behind.
Right.
It was like so funny.
It was perfectly timed for how he would present any sort of fun moment.
Yeah, because I would sort of play on that and try and like confuse him. And then we got Joe Pesci, who was more of a mouse on oxygen.
Love him. Love.
And Pesci was like,
I mean, me and Leo gets like amazing, absolutely amazing.
I mean, he used to come up with his own routines.
You know, like on set?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
I mean, I think that, you know, they'll fucking
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's
He just made that up?
I think so.
That is insane. You know what? I think one of the things that makes Lethal Weapon so great is the pairing of you and Danny Glover. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Danny Glover joining us right now. Get on your feet, MegaCon! Ladies and gentlemen, the great Danny Glover. We're gonna get some quick pictures right now with these two guys.
I was trying to find my way out of the building. I was here to meet somebody named Mel Gibson. I said, well, let me get a chance to meet him and say hello to him, man. But it seems he's doing well here.
He's doing all right. He's doing all right. But we're so glad that you came to join us. Thank you for coming to say hello. We thoroughly appreciate you coming out to see all of us today. One more time for Mr. Danny Glover. Thank you so very much. Oh my God. Listen, I hate to end it on that because I want to just keep going, but unfortunately we have hit our time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so very much for joining us. MegaCon